Hi, my name is Thomas Tucker. I'm giving a persuasive speech on why we shouldn't have more gun control. If you want to feel safer, especially with the increase in shootings, schools, and everything, then I would suggest start carrying your own gun for your own personal protection. Even though most people nowadays are saying get rid of guns. The first thing I'm going to talk about is what happens when you have more gun control. When you have more gun control, you're taking the guns away from the good guys. According to Daily Wire, even though Washington, D.C. has some of the strictest gun laws in the U.S., they still have an increase in homicides and murders using gun violence. They implemented a ban on handguns in 1976. Before that, the number of murders were 188 a year. Then, in 1988, they rose to 364 in just 12 years. And then in 1993, it rose to 500. Then, when they got rid of the ban because they deemed it unconstitutional, there was a decrease in homicide numbers related to guns. Some of the things that they do for gun control is they increase background checks, which means they search further into your profile, making sure you're not a psychopath or have any traits of one. And they also have more paperwork in order to get a gun. Just recently, Trump increased the age of buying a gun to 21, or proposed it, and so did Congress. They're also just making it more difficult in general. They already increased the handgun age to 21 for a while now, but a lot of the murders you still have underage shooters with pistols because of the big black market. Pretty much, the more gun control you have, the more violence you're going to have because you're taking the guns away from the good guys. And there's not enough law enforcement here to protect all 322 million of us in the U.S. Here's an example. According to Daily Wire, of here's the homicide rate, and here's Washington, D.C. when they proposed when they had the handgun ban in 1976. Before then, the homicide numbers were relatively low. And after the ban, it had a sharp increase in numbers, and it started going back down again when they took away the ban on handguns. Now I've told you about what happens when you have more gun control. It's time to tell you about what happens when you take some of those away. Some of the ways they're thinking about combating this increase in shootings is possibly arming the teachers with guns in schools, since, for example, Sandy Hook, no one was armed, and the shooter went in and could kill anyone because they didn't have any way of stopping it. And it's too late by the time the police arrived to act. So here's one from UK, for example. License of firearms, number of licensed firearms in the UK is this line right here. And here's the handgun ban year. When they did that, the numbers dropped for the handgun, or people with licensed firearms, and the violent crime rose, and so did the firearm crime, which resulted in more homicides and just murders. And then here's another one where this is the handgun supply. When the handgun supply was less, the numbers were way higher for murders and suicides, which most people think that if you give the people more firearms, they're going to have an increase in murders and suicides, but that's the exact opposite. Basically, my opinion on this is I feel that we should have not as much gun control, make it easier for the everyday person to get a gun for their own protection. Just because if you put a ban on it, you're not going to be able to regulate all the firearms on the black market, just like drugs. I mean, you made them illegal, but a ton of people use them every year on the black market. They can buy them and distribute them, and there's just no way of controlling it. And the Second Amendment gives us the right to bear arms, so we should be able to protect ourselves without the government trying to take that right away. So, in conclusion, I hope you will side with my opinion on not having any more gun control than we already have.